Today, I want to delve into a delicate topic. Were Adam and Eve truly the first humans created by God? While studying the book of Genesis, I considered the possibility that the creation of Adam and Eve in Genesis 2 might not be a detailed account of the human creation on the sixth day as described in Genesis 1. Instead, these could be two separate events. In Genesis 1, God creates humans, male and female, and commands them to be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Then, in Genesis 2, he created Adam specifically to work in the Garden of Eden and take care of it. Alternatively, Genesis 2 could be a detailed story of how God created human beings, complementing the more general account given in Genesis 1. I don't know which interpretation is correct, so I'll explore both perspectives in this discussion. Watch this video until the end to hear the arguments supporting both versions and share your opinion in the comments. Let's start with the first version, which claims that Adam and Eve were the first humans created by God. Many theologians believe that the account of the creation of Adam and Eve in Genesis 2 complements, rather than contradicts, the creation of humans on the sixth day in Genesis 1. The creation story in Genesis 1 outlines what God created, including humans, and Genesis 2:7 provides a more detailed description of how God created the first human. Then the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living creature. It's important to note that the word man in the original Hebrew text is Adam, which might suggest that Adam represents not just an individual, but the entire human race. Furthermore, when Adam and Eve leave Eden, Adam names his wife Eve, which in Hebrew means life. In Genesis 3:20, it states, "And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living." From this, we can infer that Eve became the mother of all humans, implying that there were no other people on earth before them. Thus, it can be concluded that Adam and Eve were indeed the first humans created by God, and their story is a detailed narrative of the beginning of humanity. Now let's explore the second version, which suggests that God created humans on the sixth day and then created Adam and Eve for a different purpose. In Genesis 1:27-28, it says, "So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, 'Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground.'" Here we clearly see that God created both man and woman to rule the earth and be fruitful. Just as he commanded the animals created before them to be fruitful and multiply, he gives the same command to humans. This indicates a clear purpose for which God created humans, to populate the earth. However, in Genesis 2:15, when God created Adam, he states a different purpose. "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it." In the first instance, God commands humans to rule over the earth, while in the second instance, he creates Adam to tend to the garden. We can see two different roles that God assigns to humans and to the specific man, Adam. Even if we assume that Genesis 1:26-28 refers to Adam and Eve, there is still a discrepancy because when God created humans, he blessed them. However, when Adam and Eve are expelled from Eden, God's words to them are far from a blessing. In Genesis 3:16, God says to Eve, "I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor, you will give birth to children." Then he says to Adam, "Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life." These statements are not very similar to the blessing mentioned in the creation chapter. Instead of a blessing, God seems to be punishing Adam and Eve. Another important indication that humans already inhabited the earth before Adam and Eve were expelled from Eden can be found in Genesis 3:4. When Adam and Eve begin their life outside Eden, they have two sons, Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel, and God punishes him. In Genesis 4:14, Cain pleads with God for mercy and says, "Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." Cain expresses fear that other people might kill him when he becomes a wanderer. But if Adam and Eve were the first humans and Cain and Abel were their children, then who is Cain afraid of? One could argue that Cain is not necessarily afraid of people, and the Bible does not explicitly say he fears people. However, after Cain leaves, he starts living in the land of Nod, east of Eden. There he knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. This raises the question, where did Cain's wife come from if he and his brother were the first descendants of the first humans? This suggests that there must have been other people on earth, and it is these people that Cain referred to. Furthermore, in Genesis 4:25 we read, "Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son, and named him Seth, saying, 'God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him.'" It appears that Eve had no other children besides Cain and Abel, which further supports the fact that Cain's wife and the people he feared were not descendants of Adam and Eve. I have explored two versions, relying on and presenting arguments exclusively from the Bible. I do not know which of these is true, and I cannot judge. What do you think? Were Adam and Eve the first humans created by God, or are the creation of humans on the sixth day and the creation of Adam two separate events? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and may God be with you.